Yo, what's goody gang? We back at it again with another Dokkan battle video, baby. And today we finna get into, I posted a little discussion on the Dokkan Reddit thread about this whole Tamagami 3 red zone fight. Little precursor. I actually beat this event already. I beat the demonic power mission. The only thing I'm still trying to beat is the time travelers category mission. But we do have a lot of smart asses and a lot of numbnuts in these comment sections saying like, "Oh, bro, skill issue. Wait, I beat it on my first try." Well, I beat it on my first try too. So just putting that out there before anybody says like, "Oh, skill issue, you couldn't beat it." But yeah, let's get into some of these comments because I mean, it's a lot of like mixed opinions on this fight. But yeah, let's get into it. All right, so the theme of this thread was this Tamagami 3 red zone fight is BS. Any thoughts? Now, this Tamagami fight, he does do a lot. He minuses your ki by 8, and then he orb changes to STR. He changes physical orbs to STR, and then the STR orbs go into straight bombs. And those bombs reduce your ki, or reduce your health by 150k per bomb. So on a bad turn, you're getting like 1 HP on a bad turn, and then he supers in slot 1 and 2 and crits. This guy even double supered at one point on one of my runs, and I couldn't believe my eyes. So yeah, let's get into it. With that in mind, let's get into it. Okay, Jinko the Man says it's not insanely hard, but it's one of those stages where you complete the missions and never touch it again. Yeah, I mean, as soon as I complete the missions, I'm never fighting Red Zone Tamagami 3 ever again, unless they add more, like Marquette says. And hopefully they don't add more missions to just this fight. I mean, it is pretty absurd, I'm not gonna lie. It's not nearly as bad as people want to say if you know how to work around the bombs. It's not as hard as people say, but I think it's rated pretty accurately in terms of fun. Bombs just aren't a fun mechanic when they do 150k damage per bomb. Yeah, basically, I mean, 150, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bro, that's over 1 million. No, I'm tripping. 150, 300, 450, 600, 750. That's like almost 900k in damage, bro. That's like all your health, bro, right there. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orbs. That's all your health right there. And then if you don't dodge in slot 1, then basically you're just gonna die because he crits. And then even if he hits you with a normal, like, you're still done. So yeah, that's actually a pretty BS mechanic right there. You got to play around these STR orbs. What I used in my first run with demonic power, I used the Int Super Saiyan 2 Super Easy A Gohan, because he actually double orb changes, so that actually helped me out quite a bit in that run. Super easy once I realized that none of the missions limited to item use and that orb changing gets rid of bombs. Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, for us tryhards who are doing the no item runs, yeah, it's gonna be a lot harder. But I mean, listen, I don't have a problem with using items, but there's no real, like, if it's not Festival of Battles, then there's no real, like, I don't get any sense of, like, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't get any sense of, like, fulfillment if I use items, knowing that I could beat it without items, you know what I mean? Only if you're not doing missions, then it's pretty bad, especially without diamond units. I'm sure someone did it with 5 Cybermen and something, but it's still difficult. The biggest problem here is the limited attempts. That's a dumb idea. I mean, I don't really care about the limited attempts. It just kind of like puts that sense of urgency. Like you makes you got to play smart if you don't want to wait a whole 24 hours to beat it. For once, I went in blind on a hard fight just to be disappointed, but I did watch Slaybig's video yesterday, and that was very entertaining. Huh, I've never watched the Slaybig's video. I gotta go check him out. I think you're just not worthy of the 3rd Dragon Ball. hey, Long Boy Wolfie, you might be right, bro. Maybe my skills are not worthy of a 3rd Dragon Ball. Maybe that's possibly what it could be. I still think Gohan and Trunks / Goten Blue Zone is worse than this fight by a huge amount. So yeah, so the thing is, with the Tamagami fight versus the Gohan fight, the Tamagami fight is just too many shenanigans going on, while the Blue Zone Gohan fight is just outright, he's just supering for 13 million. So majority of characters are not going to live that unless you dodge, or you're Omega Shenron who's just going to grind it in. Even like Omega Shenron, even his normals, even Gohan's normals before supering Omega Shenron, like 400, almost 500,000, bro. Type disadvantage against Omega Shenron. So that fight, it's easy. You could get caught pretty easy if you're like you fail a dodge or something. Exactly. I'm struggling with the parent of Bond and Child is a good team, but they mostly have to build up, and by the time they do, they get nuked around turn 4 to 6. You know, Bond and Parent and Child wasn't that hard. It was the siblings bond mission for the red zone Gohan or the blue zone Gohan fight. Siblings bond, that was the challenge, bro. I mean, I had to run double tie, and even then, it wasn't even a guaranteed win. That was hard. Siblings bond was a hard mission. I'll give Dokkan that. They didn't cook with that one. Okay, Bot 08 says it's not particularly hard, but it still manages to be really annoying regardless. I personally think it failed as a stage as a result. I mean, this is really like annoying. I mean, I say it's different from what we've previously had. I mean, lowering key by 8 and then 150k per bomb, then rainbow orbs. That's not really too crazy. It's just the bombs. That's really it. It's just the bombs. I don't like the rainbow orb changing the minus key. That's no problem. It's just the bombs. Okay, so Grim K Lax said it would be okay if the orb penalty wasn't 150k per orb when most mission teams barely get 800k and he crits you before slot 1. The layers of RNG make the stage a chore instead of a challenge. Oh, and the useless minus 8 key because who wants the super? Yeah, like I said, it's just the bombs. 150k per orb, and if you're not having like the top 5 teams in the game, then you're under like the top 5 teams in the game are easily hitting like 1 million in like HP, but a lot of these teams are not hitting 1 million, maybe like under 800k and less. So this is actually a very valid point right here. I can agree with this. Just nuke him. The gimmick is incredibly unfun though. Okay, but I mean, you can nuke if you're not using one of the category missions, but if you're trying to beat it with a category missions, then you know you kind of gotta hope that the RNG plays in your favor, because if not, you're getting one shot. Economy following says collect the red orbs with a unit of the same color so you're not left with 1 HP. Then pop a wheeze. Most units nowadays have enough base damage reduction to become totally invincible to enemy super attacks after a wheeze. Well, listen, bro, to be fair, we don't use items around here, okay? If you guys ever pop up to any of my streams on YouTube, Twitch, or TikTok, you know I don't have a problem with items, but you know the no item run is a lot more challenging. You know, like using items, it's way too easy. Our units are too strong to be carried by items. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like Festival of Battles is a different story. Like I got the no item run in Festival of Battles, but still, it's like our units are getting too good to where items. That's just it's more of like the people using it as a tool more than a crutch. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, it's in the game, so it is a tool to be used, but for us hardcore Dokkan players who have any amount of Saiyan pride will not use items. And I am one of them. I will not use items. Even for the Defenders of Justice Red Zone, it took me, no, not the Red Zone, the Extreme Super Battle Road stage. That stage took me 3 to 4 days to beat, and I did it with no items. So, you know what I'm saying? It's you know, it's skill issue maybe, I don't know. Okay, it's not that bad if you know how to manage bombs. The harder part is surviving crit supers, especially if you are doing it with no items. Thank you. Bomb management is a cherry on top, but it ain't a BS. SBS is Red Zone Zamasu on release. Oh yeah, Red Zone Zamasu was pretty bad. I have to upvote this one. This is a pretty good one. No, we've had worse. This fight wasn't that bad. Well, best poison one, you probably used a double wheeze and had no problems with it. You know what I'm saying? You probably popped a wheeze on every other turn, and then you weren't dying because you had the extra damage reduction. That's why it wasn't so hard for you, my boy. Just use orb changing items. Yeah, well, we don't use items, gang. Okay, Love 2222. Here goes this nerd right here. Legit a skill issue if you're struggling with it. Guess having to actually think about how your approach an event is too hard for some people. Also, use items if you have to. Nobody forces you not to use them. Well, yeah, you're right. Nobody forces you not to use them, but how is it a skill issue if you want to challenge yourself? You know what I mean? Like, is it a skill issue if you use items that you don't know how to go without items? Is that a skill issue where you have to use items as a crutch instead of like a tool? You know what I'm saying? I could call that a skill issue. You know, maybe you're not good enough to where you can do it with a no item run. You know what I mean? You could go both ways, but yeah, I could tell. I could just read it in how this guy was reading it out, dude. That's so funny. Especially when it is a no item mission, you don't even have to use a wheeze, just orb changing items at least. people can't seem to be able to do anything when the game requires them to put a bit of thought into it. You can just AFK it without any thought. It's hard. Ah, dude, like this Luv 222, this guy, man. You can definitely tell he uses items in Super Battle Road. You can tell he uses items. So he's using the top team in Super Battle Road, Giant 8 Power. He's using the 10th anniversary power team, and he still uses items in Super Battle Road. What a guy. I can already tell. You know, I see it spam that, hey, use items. The game is designed for them, and I agree, but to play devil's advocate, they feel like a pussy move on regular content. Sometimes I feel like I'd like to see items nerfed or have stages buffed to where they require more consistency. They require more consistently even with the best teams. You know, a punty cunty. I actually like this. Let me read that again. You know, I see it spam that, hey, use items. The game is designed for them, and I agree. But to play devil's advocate, they feel like a pussy move on regular content. Sometimes I feel like I'd like to see items nerfed or have stages buffed to where they're required more consistently, even with the best teams. That's Blue Zone Gohan. That's Blue Zone Gohan right there. Even with the best teams, like you still have to go at it consistently, even with items. You know what I mean? So this is a very good point right here. I'm gonna give that an upvote. I don't know why people downvoted this. I like this. This is an upvote. Punty cunty, you get the LSJ seal of approval, bud. I can't disagree. Okay, Makine 7. I can't much disagree with that. Sometimes using items can just make a fight go from really hard to challenging to cheesy. Back then, even with items, some events were really hard. I feel like it's because fights lasted longer, so you could run out of items or be forced to make decisions between using them now and guaranteed a survival, or save them for later when you really need them. And sometimes Wheeze wasn't enough either. But nowadays, characters have so much damage reduction and passive that a Wheeze just makes them immortal. Yeah, that's true. I mean, using items can go from making a fight really hard to really child's play. You know what I'm saying? Especially the Wheeze. The Wheezes are the most overpowered items. So like I said, like he said, a lot of these characters have so much damage reduction in their passive that a lot of these characters are just gonna be immortal to a degree. So I can agree with this. That's a good upvote right there. Nah, items are definitely necessary for anybody who isn't a sadomasochist. Some stages are too easy with them, but by far it's the other way around. I can't even remember the last time I used an item to clear an event. Was my it was like one of my first runs in the what's it called? One of my first runs in the Festival of Battles. Yeah, that's the last time I ever used the item, was in the Festival of Battles. After I got my no item run in festivals, I have not used the item since. So it depends on the event. You know, festivals you kind of had to. I'm not gonna knock anybody for using items in festival, but if you did the no item run in Festival of Battles and you cleared it, then it's like, you know, you're kind of like a god. I'm just being honest. Me being one of them. And then because people were grilling me so hard, I actually had to say, I actually beat the event, no item run with the missions, with proof, just wanted to spark a conversation. Yeah, some of these guys are taking it this guy, taking it way too serious. Legit skill issue if you're struggling with it. Fucking nerd. Alright, okay, no calligrapher, easy A LR tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan with takoyaki sticks, easy. So funny, without the items, my easy A LR tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan actually finished the fight for me. So he's definitely good in this fight for sure. Okay, that's not a bad team. That's definitely not a bad team. I didn't use these guys right here, but this is definitely a pretty solid team. I can get down with that. Yeah, this fight is RNG heavy, I will say that. Frankly, compared to the newest team, Bardock Apes and even hybrid trios, hardly. Okay, well, to be fair, the Bardock Apes, that's a whole different beast right there. That's a fight where you have to cheese to the max, and even then, I still did that with a no item run. Even at that, it's just it's very RNG heavy, but they don't have any attempt limits. So if fights like that, you can do that as long as you want to until you get it right. So this I wouldn't even say this is really, it's hard, but as long as the fights are not attempt limited, then it's not really that hard. You just got to keep going until you get it right. It's weird how people act like saying bring dodge units is a sin. This fight is designed with the new unit in mind. He dominates, but you can also just bring a team of high damage reduction / dodge units and be fine. He's squishy. I mean, yeah, it's true. Oh, and he did it with the Goku Black clone team. But he uses support memory. I mean, does support memories really count as like using items? I mean, if you want to go hardcore, then I guess no support memory. Just have them like where they're at. But I mean, support memory, I'm not mad at that. Just use Goku Black clones and have fun. Well, I used the Goku Black clone team, and my AGL clone didn't dodge the super. He dodged the normal, but didn't dodge the super and got eviscerated. So I'm still kind of mad about that. You can literally do with the leader in Fabu plus 4 Cybermen. Okay, no, I'm not trying to read that, bro. I'm at the downvote. I'm not trying to read all that, dude. What's his name? Lobo dude? Like, as soon as I said plus 4 Cybermen, bro, like, all right, chill out, man. Like, you're not that guy, bro. Names are not needed. It's not that bad. Dodge and some sort of revive unit, make it a joke. It's more of a gimmick fight than anything. He has no HP, so Diamond Goku usually just one-shots him with the active. Well, that's if you can even get to the active. You gotta survive at least, like, you gotta survive 3 turns. 3 turns, and 3 turns is a long time. You know what I'm saying? For a character that can easily one-shot you, if the RNG goes bad, like, that's a long time. Okay, I one-turned him with GT Hero, so he wasn't that bad. Well, bro, you ever tried the category missions? This is not even valid. I mean, GT Heroes, of course, you're gonna wipe him, but dude, well, I'm talking category missions, man. You need orb changers. That's all really. F the missions, though. Yeah, the missions are pretty bad. I use Tech Cell, OG Vibes, one clap easy. Well, we're talking about category missions, gang. I can't wait for a fight where they do all of his mechanics, but the boss also locks and seals. Ooh, that would go. That'd be too hard. That's literally every mechanic in one fight, bro. Like, how do you even get out of that? He doesn't hit hard. He doesn't even hit hard. He's just a Satanist. No, he hits pretty hard. He's critting through all your damage reduction through your guard. So he's 9 times out of 10, he's one-shotting if you're not careful. I found no item run against the Giant Ape Bardock squad to take way more resets. It was annoying for sure, but got it in 3 runs. Once I had lined up Fat Boo in the right place to combo into an active skill attack. With items, I can't see it being an issue outside of the bombs. He just doesn't have enough HP to hang in there. That's true. I mean, his HP, Tamagami 3's HP is really, really low. So that's like the one bright side. You can easily clear him in 4 turns if you can get there. I defeated him with the new Diamond team. The key is to dodge a super. Well, no shit, bro. No shit. If you use any decent team, it's super easy, but if you're doing the missions and straight up don't have good units, then it's annoying. See, somebody gets it, dude. Like, you know what I mean? If you're doing category missions, then it's gonna be a lot harder, especially if you don't have those characters. That's what people don't understand. Like, well, what's his name up here? I'm sorry, and I'm not even sorry, bro. I gotta keep coming back. Loof222, such a dickhead for this, man. Legit a skill issue if you're struggling with it, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, seriously. Like I said, this guy uses items as Super Battle Road, dude. Get the fuck out of here, man. You can beat it easily with free-to-play units, bringing a Tech, GF, and Gogeta friend with nuking items. Yeah, I think even maybe Golden Frieza and Gogeta could actually clear this, huh? Oh, wow, he beat it with this team? Aw, just great. I gotta get rid of Microsoft Family, dude. It's so annoying. My balls itch. Same, dude. You can clear missions so easily by just surviving the first turn when he's at his weakest. Then Ghost Ushering. No, but we're not using items, bro. That's the problem. The bomb gimmick is pure cringe. I agree. Ever since STR Broly's Dokkan event, we've been complaining about BS stages. Well, STR Broly's Dokkan event didn't have all these crazy mechanics, so I don't know what you're talking about. I appreciate it's a gimmick fight versus just inflating numbers. It's really fucking annoying. One to no item though. It is. I did it with the demonic power, but time travelers, that's still getting to me. You don't have to, but it bothers me personally. You either use the handful of units that can kind of tank the supers and hope to God the bombs don't reduce it to 1 HP, or pray dodge doesn't F you. More RNG reliant than usual. I agree, that's facts. That's me, bro. It's such an RNG fight. I took it 1.2 million damage with 80% DR guard and 300k defense with Texamasu turn 1. Well, Texamasu is that's also a 2-year-old character, so I mean, I'm not really surprised. Fat Boo plus Usher plus Diamond Goku friend. He's a 4-turn victim. Yeah, it's hard AF, but I was able to beat it once with a giant ape team and also beat the demonic power mission with a hybrid Saiyan / demonic power team. Took a while, but it's doable. Time Travelers is next, but I keep running out of tries. Given Ape Vegeta and now Tamagami 3 stages, it seems Akatsuki wants to balance BS damage output / boss abilities. With them having extremely low health, like a double LR Rose just melts this guy, but in turn it can die in 1 hit pre-super. That is true. Okay, let's move on to the next one. That was definitely a good Reddit thread. Okay, it's hard if you don't think about the mechanics, but really just knowing the supers hit slot 1 and 2 and that he gets the buff turn 2. There's many ways to cheese it with units that have revive / turn delay, 100% dodge. Makes it super easy and cheesable. Yeah, whoa, just cheese it? Brother, level 1 SSR Demon King Piccolo? Bro, I have to see how this run went. I mean, he cleared it, but I have to see this run, dude. Like, how'd you keep him safe? First of all, that's what I want to know. You wouldn't catch me dead with a level 1 SSR. Not me, not I. All right, now, Giant Ape Power makes this team a total cakewalk. Well, yeah, we're talking category missions, but Giant Ape Power, of course, you use the best team in the game. You know, you have a better chance at beating it, of course. It's the missions that suck, mission teams that suck. Thank you. They are clearly releasing stages with item usage in mind. Just look at the first 3 stages of the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks Supreme Magnificent Battle. Those bosses hit for an untankable damage turn 1 but have no HP. People still refuse to use items when the devs want us to. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. The devs do want us to use items in mind, but they also know, I'm pretty sure they also know there's also a huge popularity with amongst creators where there's no item runs. I'd hope so, right? Because, you know, there's been no item runs going on for like years, so I'm pretty sure they've caught on to it at some point. But, you know, imagine they release an event where you won't even be able to use items at all. Like a really challenging fight, if they haven't already, that I can't really think of. A lot of the hard events, you can bring at least 1 or 2. But imagine a hard fight where you can't bring any items. That's when all the complaining is going to come about. That's where the real skill issue is going to come from. I love to see all those losers talk about skill issue in an event where you can't bring any items. That's actually challenging. Some of y'all say it's easy while using units that are not even part of the specific categories. Facts. Abra Riznik, thank you. They need to stop giving stupid bosses the stupid orb bomb mechanic. Is so much worse giving them orb change too, because you always have like 18 orbs that are just bombs that you can't heal back. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, on a real unlucky turn, all you're gonna be having is just bombs. It's not fun. I can't beat it with time travelers. Yeah, on my next run, I'm gonna have to try and beat it with Int LRs and Masu. I haven't brought him, but I kind of need to. AGL Gogeta makes this stage easy as hell with this damage. See, of course, if you're using one of the best teams in the game, but if you're using category missions without items, then nah, bro, you wouldn't be saying this. A lot of the people that are actually like have a brain in here know how hard the actual category mission is without items. Like so, you're not forced to not use items, but you know, skill issue, lopsided day. You're such a dickhead. I'm gonna have to downvote that. It's literally free orb changers. People say it's easy, may not be contemplating the missions. Time Traveler is a pain in the ass unless I'm missing some good teams with Diamond Forku as a guest. I might have to copy this Time Traveler's team actually. Probably minus this guy right here, but I might have to actually bring him in. Okay, but yeah, no items though. We're not using any items though. This is a solid team, but I'm not using items. Okay, there you go. I see you, boy. Skill issue, beat it first try. Same with no items. Well, then why are you posting this garbage? Because I can, Brody. Because I can, brother. The missions are annoying, but the fight itself isn't bad. Yeah, I'm not using any items, guys. That's what a lot of people don't understand. We're not using any items, dude. No support memories, no nothing. Okay, here's somebody who gets it. It's honestly not very difficult, but the design of the fight is pretty BS. Trying to do the category missions, no item is awful. It's just not very fun. This is somebody who gets it, bro. Like, so here's the thing. Like, I know a lot of people say it's easy with items. Of course it's gonna be easy with items. It's gonna be easy with items and the best team in the game, of course. But if you actually want a real challenge, then, you know, category missions are there. And I don't even use items on on a lot of my category missions. You know, I mean, for people who have to use them on category missions, is that a skill issue? I wouldn't say so, because it's hard. It is genuinely hard. Even with or without items, it's still hard. It's the category missions I'm talking about. Gouda Goober. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I do be doing this. It's for the engagement, guys. It's for the engagement. Come on. I did post it in the same. Microsoft. I did do this. Gouda Goober. This is actually, it's pretty funny, dude. That's an RDD. This guy. Yeah, you could definitely, bro. This guy uses items in freaking You could tell this guy uses items in Infinite Dragon Ball history. He'll use a Ghost Usher and a Wheeze in Infinite Dragon Ball history. What a guy. If bombs didn't exist, the difficulty would be perfect. Yeah, that's, I mean, yeah. I mean, the bombs do make it a little more difficult, but I can agree that they didn't need to add the bombs. If they didn't have to add the bombs, I'd say just give them a lot more health, and then that would have been fine. Okay, no item run. I see you, boy. I see you. No item run. Good job. I like that. If I had $1 for every bomb orb stage this year, I'd have to, like, maybe 4, which isn't much, but it just pisses me off. Facts. Yeah, only looks hard at first glance until you see his HP. No, for real, how he be moving, that's so funny. It's really do. Tamagami 3 don't play around, bro. He's putting belt to ass. Especially in a lot of my runs. I lost to him with time travelers 2 times in a row. Not fun. Well, all right, guys, that's pretty much it for the video today. Just had to do a quick little analysis because I know the time travelers one is getting to me. I need to do that on my next live stream. But I know this fight is pretty BS, and I'm not the only one that feels that way, you know? A lot of people say it's easy because they're using the best team with items, and then there's the other half that actually see how BS this mission is if you're trying to no item it. Which is a lot more fun in my opinion. It's, like I said, it's more satisfaction when you do the no item instead of the instead of using items. Just, they're there. It doesn't. I'm not gonna say it's a cop out because they're there for you to use, but you know, if you have any real Saiyan pride, you'll try and go into it with no items and beat it with your indomitable Saiyan spirit. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the video. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Adios, amigos.